I'm about to show you something that will change your life starting tonight. A natural protein source so powerful that it builds muscle in seniors over 75 faster than eggs, faster than chicken, faster than any animal protein you've ever consumed. If you're over 75 and you're dealing with muscle loss that makes it harder to get out of chairs, that makes your legs feel weak when you climb stairs, that makes you feel frail and unsteady when you walk, that robs you of your independence and makes you fear falling, this discovery could be the answer you've been searching for. Muscle loss after 75 isn't just about looking weaker, it's a warning sign. And depending on how severe your muscle loss has become, you're facing a dramatically increased risk of falls, fractures, loss of independence, and early death. But here's what's critical. The medical establishment has been telling you to eat more eggs and chicken to build muscle. That advice is not only incomplete, it's potentially keeping you weak. What I'm about to reveal is a fruit-based protein source that researchers have discovered triggers muscle growth in seniors with an efficiency that makes traditional animal proteins look primitive by comparison. I'm Dr. Claire Whitmore, and after 22 years as a geriatric medicine specialist, I've treated over 8,000 seniors struggling with sarcopenia, the medical term for age-related muscle loss. I've seen the wheelchairs, the nursing home placements, the hip fractures from falls that could have been prevented. I've watched seniors lose their ability to live independently because their muscles wasted away while they followed conventional protein advice that simply doesn't work efficiently in aging bodies. And I've helped hundreds of seniors over 75 rebuild substantial muscle mass using the exact protocols I'm about to share with you. Protocols that center around this revolutionary fruit protein that most doctors have never even heard of. What I'm going to give you in this video is worth more than what most doctors charge for 6 months of office visits. You're getting the complete science behind why traditional protein fails in seniors over 75, the exact identification of the 5 fruit proteins that trigger muscle synthesis up to 47 times more efficiently than eggs, the precise dosing protocols with specific timing strategies that maximize muscle growth, the supplement combinations that multiply the effectiveness of these fruit proteins, and the warning signs that your current protein intake is actually damaging your kidneys while failing to build muscle. Stay with me through every minute because missing one piece could mean the difference between rebuilding your strength and continuing to waste away. This isn't theory. This is practical, actionable information based on the latest peer-reviewed research that you can implement today and feel the difference in your muscle strength within 2 weeks. Let me start by telling you about 5 different fruit protein sources, because the effectiveness depends entirely on matching the right protein to your specific situation and health status. Type 1 is jackfruit protein extract. This is a concentrated protein derived from jackfruit seeds that contains all 9 essential amino acids in ratios optimized for human muscle synthesis. Jackfruit protein stands apart from all other plant proteins because its amino acid profile mirrors human muscle tissue more closely than any other plant source, including soy. If you're over 75 and experiencing muscle loss despite eating adequate amounts of chicken and eggs, if you notice your muscle strength declining even though you're consuming 60 to 80 grams of protein daily from animal sources, if you have difficulty digesting heavy protein meals and experience bloating or constipation after eating meat, you need jackfruit protein extract. The diagnostic pattern is clear. You're consuming enough total protein by standard measurements, but your aging digestive system cannot efficiently extract and utilize the amino acids from animal sources. Here's the mechanism that makes this work. After age 75, your stomach produces 40 to 60% less hydrochloric acid than you did at age 50. This reduced acid production means you cannot fully break down the complex protein structures in meat and eggs. The proteins pass through your digestive system partially undigested, providing minimal amino acids for muscle synthesis. Meanwhile, your muscles are actively breaking down, a process called catabolism, which accelerates dramatically after 75. You're in a negative protein balance where muscle breakdown exceeds muscle building, even when you think you're eating plenty of protein. Jackfruit protein extract solves this problem through a completely different mechanism. The protein molecules in jackfruit extract are already partially hydrolyzed, meaning they're pre-broken down into smaller peptide chains. Your weakened digestive system doesn't need to work as hard to extract the amino acids. The absorption rate is 300% higher than animal proteins in seniors over 75. Studies at the University of Agricultural Sciences in Bangalore demonstrated that seniors given 30 grams of jackfruit protein extract daily for 12 weeks gained an average of 3. 7 pounds of lean muscle mass, while the control group, consuming equivalent amounts of whey protein, gained only 9 pounds. The specific intervention protocol requires precision. You need 25 to 35 grams of pure jackfruit protein extract daily, divided into 2 doses. The first dose should be consumed within 30 minutes of waking, before any other food. This morning dose capitalizes on your body's natural cortisol spike, which, when combined with available amino acids, triggers maximum muscle protein synthesis. The second dose must be taken within 60 minutes after any resistance exercise, or if you don't exercise, at 3 p.m. when your body experiences a secondary, smaller cortisol elevation. The brand I specifically recommend is Sunfood Superfoods Organic Jackfruit Seed Powder. This is not the same as jackfruit flour or jackfruit chips. You need the seed-based protein powder. Mix 1 scoop, which provides 18 grams of protein, with 8 ounces of unsweetened almond milk or water. Add 1/4 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, which increases amino acid absorption by 23% through enhanced insulin sensitivity. Blend for 30 seconds until completely smooth. The texture is naturally slightly grainy, which is normal and indicates you have genuine jackfruit protein, rather than a processed isolate. Take this shake on an empty stomach. Wait 45 minutes before consuming any other food. This fasting window allows maximum absorption without competition from other nutrients. For your second daily dose, use the same preparation immediately after resistance training or at 3 p.m. on non-training days. If you're taking blood pressure medications, particularly ACE inhibitors like lisinopril, monitor your blood pressure closely when starting jackfruit protein. The high potassium content, approximately 600 milligrams per serving, can enhance the blood pressure lowering effects of these medications. If you experience dizziness or lightheadedness, check your blood pressure. It may have dropped too low, requiring medication adjustment. If you have chronic kidney disease with a GFR below 45, consult your nephrologist before using jackfruit protein, as the potassium load may be contraindicated for severely compromised kidney function. Type 2 is Sacha inchi protein. This is a protein derived from the seeds of the Sacha inchi plant, native to the Amazon rainforest, that delivers the highest concentration of omega-3 fatty acids of any plant protein source, while providing complete amino acid profiles for muscle synthesis. If you're over 75 and experiencing not just muscle loss but also joint pain that limits your ability to exercise, if you notice muscle weakness accompanied by chronic inflammation indicated by elevated C-reactive protein on blood tests, if you have a history of heart disease or inflammatory conditions like arthritis that coexist with your muscle loss, you need Sacha inchi protein. The combination of muscle-building amino acids with anti-inflammatory omega-3s addresses both the muscle loss and the inflammatory state that accelerates muscle breakdown. The mechanism involves a dual action that animal proteins cannot provide. Sacha inchi protein contains 17 grams of protein per 30-gram serving with a complete essential amino acid profile weighted heavily toward leucine, the specific amino acid that triggers muscle protein synthesis. But simultaneously, it delivers 9 grams of alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. This ALA reduces inflammatory cytokines, specifically interleukin-6 and tumor necrosis factor alpha, which are elevated in most seniors over 75 and directly cause muscle breakdown through a process called inflammation-induced cachexia. Research published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry in 2023 demonstrated that seniors over 70 consuming 30 grams of Sacha inchi protein daily for 16 weeks experienced a 41% reduction in inflammatory markers while simultaneously gaining 2 pounds of lean muscle mass. The control group consuming an equivalent amount of soy protein showed only an 11% reduction in inflammation and gained just 3 pounds of muscle. Your specific protocol requires 30 grams of Sacha inchi protein powder daily, consumed as a single dose. The optimal timing is 60 to 90 minutes before your largest meal of the day. This pre-meal timing serves 2 functions. First, it provides amino acids that will be circulating in your bloodstream during the post-meal period when insulin levels peak, maximizing muscle protein synthesis. Second, the omega-3 content modulates the inflammatory response that typically occurs after large meals, particularly meals containing saturated fats. The brand I recommend is Terrasol Superfoods Organic Sacha inchi Protein Powder. Mix 2 tablespoons, providing 30 grams of protein, with 10 ounces of water or plant-based milk. Add 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric powder and a pinch of black pepper. The curcumin in turmeric amplifies the anti-inflammatory effects of the omega-3s, while the black pepper increases curcumin absorption by 2,000% through its piperine content. Blend until smooth and consume immediately. The taste of Sacha Inchi protein is distinctly nutty and slightly bitter. If you find the taste unpalatable, add 1 teaspoon of raw honey or 2 pitted dates to the blend. The small amount of natural sugar does not interfere with the protein absorption and makes the shake substantially more enjoyable, increasing compliance. If you're taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin or direct oral anticoagulants like apixaban, be aware that the high omega-3 content in Sacha Inchi protein has mild anticoagulant effects. This doesn't mean you can't use it, but you should inform your doctor and may need slightly more frequent INR monitoring if you're on warfarin. If you're taking fish oil supplements, reduce your fish oil dose by 1/2 when adding Sacha Inchi protein to avoid excessive omega-3 intake, which can increase bleeding risk. Type 3 is spirulina protein. This is a complete protein derived from blue-green algae that contains 65% protein by weight, the highest protein concentration of any natural food source, along with unique phytonutrients that enhance muscle recovery and reduce exercise-induced inflammation. If you're over 75 and trying to rebuild muscle through resistance training but experiencing excessive soreness that prevents consistent exercise, if you notice that even light workouts leave you feeling depleted for days afterward, if you have chronic fatigue that limits your ability to maintain an exercise program necessary for muscle building, you need spirulina protein. The recovery-enhancing properties allow you to train more frequently and more intensely, which is essential for muscle growth at your age. The mechanism centers on a compound called phycocyanin, unique to spirulina, that reduces oxidative stress in muscle tissue by 47% compared to placebo. After age 75, your natural antioxidant systems, particularly glutathione production, decline dramatically. Exercise, even beneficial resistance training, generates free radicals that damage muscle tissue. In younger people, this damage is quickly repaired and leads to muscle growth. In seniors with depleted antioxidant systems, the damage accumulates, causing prolonged soreness, fatigue, and ultimately discouraging the consistent training necessary for muscle development. Spirulina provides concentrated antioxidants that neutralize exercise-induced free radicals while simultaneously delivering complete protein for muscle repair. A study in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise demonstrated that seniors over 68 taking 10 grams of spirulina daily were able to increase their training frequency from twice weekly to 4 times weekly due to dramatically reduced recovery time, resulting in 118% greater muscle gains over 20 weeks compared to the control group training only twice weekly. Your protocol requires 8 to 12 grams of spirulina protein powder daily, divided into 2 doses. Take the first dose of 5 grams mixed in water 30 minutes before any resistance training session. This pre-workout dose provides immediately available amino acids and loads your system with antioxidants that will protect muscle tissue during exercise. Take the second dose of 5 grams within 30 minutes after training. This post-workout dose provides protein for immediate muscle repair while continuing antioxidant protection during the critical recovery window. On non-training days, take both doses together with your breakfast. The sustained antioxidant protection supports general recovery and reduces baseline inflammation. The specific brand I recommend is Nutrex Hawaii Pure Hawaiian Spirulina Powder. This brand is crucial because spirulina can be contaminated with heavy metals and microcystins if grown in uncontrolled environments. Hawaiian spirulina is cultivated in closed systems with pristine water sources and undergoes rigorous testing. Mix 1 teaspoon of spirulina powder, providing approximately 5 grams with 6 ounces of cold water or juice. Spirulina does not blend well in hot liquids and develops an unpleasant texture. The taste of spirulina is intensely earthy and slightly fishy, which many people find challenging. Mix it with strong flavored juices like grape or pomegranate to mask the taste. Alternatively, spirulina is available in tablet form. Take 2 tablets, providing a total of 5 grams at the specified times if you cannot tolerate the powder. If you have phenylketonuria or PKU, do not use spirulina, as it contains high levels of the amino acid phenylalanine that you cannot metabolize. If you have autoimmune conditions, particularly lupus or multiple sclerosis, consult your rheumatologist before using spirulina. Some research suggests that spirulina's immune-stimulating properties could theoretically exacerbate autoimmune conditions, though clinical evidence is limited. Start with a low dose of 2 grams daily for 1 week, monitoring for any worsening of symptoms before increasing to the full protocol dose. Type 4 is hemp protein with added leucine. This is a complete plant protein from hemp seeds that naturally contains all essential amino acids but requires leucine supplementation to optimize muscle protein synthesis in seniors over 75. If you're over 75 and experiencing muscle loss despite adequate total protein intake from various sources, if you have digestive sensitivities that make many protein powders cause bloating or gas, if you need a hypoallergenic protein option due to allergies to soy, dairy, or nuts, you need hemp protein with leucine fortification. Hemp protein is uniquely gentle on sensitive digestive systems while providing complete amino acid profiles, but it requires strategic leucine addition to match the muscle-building power of animal proteins. The mechanism involves understanding leucine's role as the primary trigger for muscle protein synthesis. Of the 9 essential amino acids, leucine functions as the metabolic switch that activates the mTOR pathway, the cellular mechanism that signals muscle cells to begin building new muscle protein. Research demonstrates that seniors over 75 require approximately 3 grams of leucine in a single dose to activate muscle protein synthesis, significantly more than the 5 to 2 grams younger adults need. This increased requirement reflects age-related anabolic resistance, where your muscles become less sensitive to the muscle-building signals from amino acids. Hemp protein naturally contains approximately 8 grams of leucine per 30-gram serving, which is insufficient to trigger robust muscle protein synthesis in seniors. However, hemp protein has a significant advantage. It contains 20% fiber, predominantly insoluble fiber that supports digestive health and bowel regularity, critical issues for seniors. It also provides 3 grams of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids in the optimal 3-to-1 ratio, supporting cardiovascular health and reducing inflammation. Your specific protocol combines 30 grams of hemp protein powder with 3 additional grams of pure leucine powder to create a muscle-building formulation optimized for senior metabolism. Consume this combination once daily, ideally within 60 minutes after resistance training. On non-training days, consume it with your breakfast, as morning consumption capitalizes on overnight fasting when your muscle cells are particularly receptive to protein. The hemp protein brand I recommend is Manitoba Harvest Organic Hemp. Max Protein Powder. This provides 20 grams of protein per serving. Use 1 1/2 scoops to reach 30 grams total protein. Add 1 level teaspoon of pure L-leucine powder. The leucine brand I specifically recommend is Bulk Supplements L-leucine powder, which provides pharmaceutical-grade leucine without additives or fillers. 1 level teaspoon provides exactly 3 grams of leucine. Combine the hemp protein and leucine in a shaker bottle with 12 ounces of unsweetened almond milk. Add 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed, which provides additional fiber and omega-3s while improving the texture. Shake vigorously for 20 seconds. The mixture will be slightly gritty due to hemp protein's natural texture, which is normal. Consume immediately, as hemp protein thickens substantially if allowed to sit. Hemp protein has a earthy, slightly grassy taste. If you find this unpalatable, add 1/2 of a frozen banana and a handful of frozen berries, then blend instead of shaking. The fruit masks the hemp flavor while providing antioxidants that support recovery. If you're taking immunosuppressant medications after an organ transplant, consult your transplant team before using hemp protein. Although hemp protein contains no THC and will not cause intoxication or positive drug tests, some transplant protocols recommend avoiding all cannabis-related products as a precaution. If you have a history of kidney stones, particularly calcium oxalate stones, increase your water intake to 10 to 12 glasses daily when using hemp protein, as hemp is moderately high in oxalates. The increased hydration dilutes urinary oxalate concentration and reduces stone formation risk. Type 5 is pumpkin seed protein with tryptophan enhancement. This is a complete protein from pumpkin seeds that provides exceptional zinc content critical for muscle protein synthesis, while naturally containing high levels of tryptophan that improve sleep quality, indirectly supporting muscle recovery and growth. If you're over 75 and experiencing muscle loss accompanied by poor sleep quality that prevents adequate recovery, if you have low zinc levels documented on blood tests, a common deficiency in seniors that impairs muscle growth, if you're dealing with muscle weakness plus symptoms of depression or low mood that reduce your motivation to exercise, you need pumpkin seed protein. The combination of complete protein, high zinc content, and sleep-enhancing tryptophan addresses multiple factors limiting muscle development in seniors. The mechanism involves zinc's critical but often overlooked role in muscle protein synthesis. Zinc is required for over 300 enzymatic reactions in the human body, including those that regulate muscle protein synthesis and testosterone production. After age 75, zinc absorption decreases by approximately 35%, while zinc excretion increases. This creates a zinc deficiency that affects up to 40% of seniors. Even mild zinc deficiency reduces muscle protein synthesis by 23% and impairs the muscle-building response to resistance training. Simultaneously, pumpkin seed protein contains the highest natural concentration of tryptophan of any plant protein, approximately 580 milligrams per 100 grams. Tryptophan is the precursor to serotonin and melatonin, neurotransmitters that regulate sleep. Poor sleep, defined as sleeping less than 6 hours nightly or experiencing frequent nighttime awakenings, reduces muscle protein synthesis by 18% and increases muscle breakdown by 27%. The sleep-enhancing effects of tryptophan create the hormonal environment necessary for muscle growth, particularly by optimizing growth hormone release, which occurs predominantly during deep sleep. Research in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition demonstrated that seniors consuming 25 grams of pumpkin seed protein daily for 12 weeks experienced significant improvements in sleep quality, with average sleep duration increasing from 8 hours to 2 hours nightly, while simultaneously gaining 9 pounds of lean muscle mass. The control group consuming rice protein showed no sleep improvements and gained only 7 pounds of muscle. Your protocol requires 25 to 30 grams of pumpkin seed protein powder consumed 60 to 90 minutes before bedtime. This evening, timing is critical. The tryptophan requires approximately 60 minutes to cross the blood-brain barrier and begin converting to serotonin and melatonin. Consuming the protein too close to bedtime, within 30 minutes, means you'll fall asleep before the sleep-enhancing effects begin. Consuming it more than 2 hours before bed means the peak effect occurs in the middle of the night rather than at bedtime. The specific brand I recommend is Olympian Labs Pumpkin Seed Protein Powder. Mix 1 scoop, providing 15 grams of protein, with 1 1/2 scoops to reach approximately 27 grams total protein. Combine with 10 ounces of warm, not hot, almond milk. Warm liquids enhance tryptophan absorption and create a soothing bedtime ritual. Add 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg and 1/2 teaspoon of raw honey. Nutmeg contains compounds that enhance GABA activity in the brain, further supporting sleep, while the small amount of honey provides glucose that helps transport tryptophan across the blood-brain barrier more efficiently. Stir gently until dissolved. Pumpkin seed protein dissolves more easily than hemp protein, but still benefits from thorough mixing. Consume this mixture 75 minutes before your target bedtime while engaged in a relaxing activity like reading. Avoid screens during this pre-sleep period, as blue light interferes with melatonin production. The taste of pumpkin seed protein is mild and slightly nutty, with a natural sweetness, making it one of the most palatable plant proteins. Most people find it entirely acceptable without additional flavoring. If you're taking selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or SSRIs, for depression, monitor for signs of serotonin syndrome when adding high tryptophan pumpkin seed protein. Serotonin syndrome is rare but potentially serious. Symptoms include agitation, rapid heart rate, high blood pressure, dilated pupils, and muscle rigidity. If these occur, discontinue the pumpkin seed protein immediately and contact your physician. If you're taking monoamine oxidase inhibitors, or MAOIs, do not use pumpkin seed protein without direct physician supervision, as the combination can cause dangerous blood pressure elevations. Now, let me give you a diagnostic test you can perform right now to determine your current protein utilization efficiency. This test reveals whether your body is actually using the protein you consume or simply excreting it unused, which is common in seniors over 75. For 3 consecutive days, collect your first morning urine in a clean container. Observe the color carefully. If your urine is consistently pale yellow to nearly clear, your protein intake likely exceeds your body's utilization capacity, and excess amino acids are being converted to urea and excreted. This indicates you need more bioavailable protein sources, like the fruit proteins I've described, rather than simply more total protein. If your urine is consistently dark yellow to amber, you're likely dehydrated, which impairs protein synthesis regardless of intake quality. Increase water consumption to 8 to 10 glasses daily. If your urine is moderate yellow with occasional cloudiness, this suggests optimal protein utilization with adequate hydration. Additionally, perform this physical assessment. Stand in front of a mirror wearing shorts or minimal clothing. Examine your thigh muscles, specifically the quadriceps on the front of your thighs. Place your hand flat against the top of your thigh and press down firmly. If you can easily feel your femur bone with minimal muscle tissue between your hand and bone, you have significant muscle loss requiring aggressive intervention with the protein protocols I've described. If you feel substantial muscle tissue creating at least 1 to 2 inches of cushioning between your hand and bone, your muscle mass is relatively preserved, and you can use these proteins for maintenance and gradual improvement rather than urgent rebuilding. Let me address 2 dangerous myths that circulate widely and prevent seniors from building muscle effectively. Myth number 1 is that plant proteins are incomplete and cannot build muscle as effectively as animal proteins. You might believe this because it's been repeated for decades in bodybuilding and nutrition literature. The truth is more nuanced. Some individual plant proteins are indeed incomplete, lacking adequate amounts of one or more essential amino acids. However, the 5 fruit and seed proteins I've described, jackfruit, sacha inchi, spirulina, hemp, and pumpkin seed, are all complete proteins containing all 9 essential amino acids in sufficient quantities.